It's a great opportunity. We are going to speak with Sunil today. Sunil has just started his own business and he is a new entrepreneur at the time of the pandemic COVID-19. The experience must be inspirational and insightful and exhilarating. Let's start the meeting. Could you please, Sunil, introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Hi everyone, it's nice to be with you, Nour, and my pleasure. Well, basically, I am a mechanical engineer and MBA. I was working with the automotive industry for 25 years, and I rose to the level of vice president. Was handling marketing, manufacturing, product development. But one fine day, I mean, it was December last year. I said, no, let me do something different on my own. Let me be my own boss. So January 2020, with the new year, I became an entrepreneur. And now what I do is I have got into plant and machinery repair, maintenance, and services. It's like a manufacturing company has a breakdown of a machine. So they call me, I go and repair that and set it right and come back. It's on 24/7 kind of an assignment and on call basis. All right. But the starting in January and the pandemic started in March, but somehow I didn't let myself get down, bogged down, and I still continue with it.
Fantastic.
That's it.
Yeah, go ahead, Sunil.
It is the state of mind that it tells you need to coax up and say, well, nothing has gone wrong. I have to create my own environment. And that's what I did, Noor. It's nothing big. It's a phobia everybody's having, life and death. But somehow I have always thought differently.
So the first question is, how did you feel when you started your own business? How does it make you feel?
Well, well, uh, from a salaried man to uh, to a boss on your own self and paying salaries to people, it is a change of paradigm, all right. And you become more accountable, more responsible, and yes, that's it.
How different is your mind or your mindset from being a salaried employee to being a responsible man for a company or a business?
Well, earlier, whether I do business or I don't do business, on the first of month, I used to, wait for my salary, the bank to give me a call. Here I have to plan for the people also, earn for them also, and, generate revenue, build up the company. I mean, it is like you are again responsible for 7, 8 engineers and their families. So it's a great deal of responsibility.
You earlier said that you were always different from other people. What is this difference like? What do you mean by being different?
Well, I was at the helm of corporate culture. I mean, the salary used to come. I used to have gala time on company's account. And one fine day, I said, no, I want to be my own boss and do something different. So from that paradigm, I shifted in totality, created something new, something different, where I mean, I had never done this kind of repair and maintenance. I had contacts though, those companies were friends, but then I formally introduced myself. Okay, I'm into this, you have your maintenance, I'll do it for you. And they said, okay, we'll give you one chance. I said, okay, just one. And that's how it began. I still go to every company personally, introduce myself, and pandemic, no pandemic, it doesn't make a difference. I cover myself, with the headgear and everything, and meet people. So that's how it is. I do it differently.
Was it a challenge to shift from a, let's say, a stable paradigm to a risky paradigm?
Well, to a certain extent, yes. The uncertainties, were too many. Here, it was a salary on the first of every month. Here, you had to earn. What if I couldn't make it? What would be the state of the family? I mean, you do have reserves, but how can you thrive? Once you throw your job out, nobody takes you back. So it was a decision of a lifetime, but I made it. I'm touch wood. I'm glad that nothing went wrong.
Yeah, we congratulate you on that and we support you on that. My question is, do you think establishing your own business is a part of the human development experience?
Well, I would more than agree with you. It is a development. It is the mental state of doing something different. You are shifting from your existing paradigm to into a new one. It takes a real raw gut feeling, and to do this, to make this decision. So yes, it does to a great deal.
You are a newly born businessman. What are the requirements to start an individual or let's say a personal business or a new venture?
I would say the first step. Yeah, you just break the ice. You said, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to fail. That is the kind of initiative, the dedication. And once you step out, then you don't look back. Now people tell me that you had the company's car, company's house, company's perks, but I am so satisfied now, so contented now. Whatever I'm doing for myself and the family. I mean, the 5-7 engineers that I have, and we meet often, we discuss. I mean, what I learned there, I'm using it for profit here. So that application, I'm doing it practically from ground zero.
Is it hard?
No, I won't say hard. It is challenging. And once you accept challenging, nothing is hard. Well, there are no shortcuts, and there are no free lunches. But then, I'm very happy.
Yeah, perfect. My question is, how much have you learned or have you trained to be able to come to this step to say, okay, I will take my own challenge?
Can you repeat your question once again?
Yeah, how much have you learned? How much have you studied? How much have you trained at this at the other companies to come to the point to be able to say, I can do this?
Well, the process of learning is never ending, Noor. I mean, even at the childhood level, I was learning, and even at the age of 55, I'm learning. But yes, now learning for the sake of becoming a successful entrepreneur and making these 5-7 engineers also successful in the profit, make the venture more profitable. It is challenging, but yes, you keep on experimenting every day. I mean, here it costs you to if you take a wrong decision, you lose money, but then it's all in the game, and you don't look back.
The other question is, you were in a position where you had everything, you were at the top of the corporate world, but now you are in a position where you put your mind to learning every day.
Yeah.
What should a person do to be able to have this, let's say, humility to continuous learning, plasticity, ability to accept that he should exert efforts to learn every day something new?
You see, first and foremost, Noor, your attitude, the aptitude, and your approach. The three A's that I say, are very critical in life. So I learned so many things But that culture did not permit me, the company's principal environment did not permit me to experiment, set of rules were there. I had to do come 9 sharp in the morning, leave at 5 in the morning, work done, not done, no accountability. But here, yes, everything has accountability. And you'll be surprised, Noor. These 7 engineers that I had, they were jobless, without job due to pandemic. I mean, they just came to know that somebody's become an entrepreneur from LinkedIn. They gave me a call. Hey, Sunil, you're looking for some people? I said, the affordability. He said, don't worry, I won't ask for salary also, and I want an opportunity to work. I said, no, there are no free lunches. Once you come, you have to earn, you have a family, you have a stomach also. So believe me, they started they also started feeling that this was their own company. And they put in not their sweat, their blood. I'm saying, I'll repeat, they put in their blood. I mean, no, there was no watch inside the factory wherever we were. They used to step in, finish the job, and they are like my family now.
Yeah. Then comes the pandemic. How did you cope?
Well, if I have a different approach in totality, when the pandemic began, just 1.5 months after I started, and you had a set life for 25 years, get up at 6 o'clock, go for a walk, and then get ready, have breakfast, and off you go. Then by 9:30 you're back. Everything came to a standstill. You had nothing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the family, the wife, the kids, the schools were off. The wife had nothing to do. But then, I made use of my engineering. I first day I picked up all the sanitary fittings in the house, fit all the leakages. I did them. The air conditioners, I serviced them. The fans, that is the lights, I cleaned them. I mean, it was a total. I used to get so tired, physically, that I didn't have time to think that there is pandemic around. That's what
Mhm.
I am in front of you. Then I used to service my car myself only. Just go down, put the car on the jack. I mean, then I used to read a lot. Then there were so many online courses. When I did my engineering, the engineering drawing I did, it was mechanical drawing I used to do. Today we have AutoCAD. I had forgotten AutoCAD. I learned it again, through free online courses. So it is my sincere advice to everyone. There is no dearth in updating, and don't feel ashamed of doing anything. Whatever you may get 50%, 25% of your salary. Don't worry about it. Do multiple kind of job. Sitting at home, you'll find n number of opportunities. But don't feel shy or to have barriers or reservations about anything. Do it. You are the creator of your own, or master of your own destiny. And believe me, don't worry. Don't you just can forget about the pandemic. It is, if the pandemic has to catch you and kill you, it will. But don't die every day.
So, how do you think the pandemic is affecting other people's minds?
You see, when the life all of a sudden comes to a grinding halt. Suppose we are 4 members in a family, like me, my wife, my daughter. She is also a doctor in medicine. My son is a civil engineer. Again, he has a wife. So we used to leave the house at 7:30, and today the situation is that everybody is in the house 24 into 7. So, I mean, at times, if you look at the positivity of it, we never used to talk. Today we have the whole world, it was understanding. We reinvented ourselves. But then you have to earn money also, make your own schedules also, So people literally, when your physical activity comes to there, when your mind becomes empty, you become a sick person, whether it is pandemic or it is no pandemic. So once you keep this occupied, you strain it as much as possible. I'm telling you, the storm will be over and you will be back as good as ever. But if you let it out, you'll be a sick person.
Yeah, that's correct. And how to maintain a positive mindset currently?
Well, I said first and foremost, keep your mind occupied. Do a lot of reading. Mix around with the family. Get into the kitchen. I started cooking.
Yeah,
And I used to cook the entire dinner for the family. We used to eat together, candlelight dinner. I mean, it is so enjoyable. Believe me, I never did it. I never. But then, when that togetherness, that bonding, we are made for each other. That real meaning I learned here in these 2 months. So it is, number one, you read. Number two, there are so much on online. There are webinars, there are online courses. Do anything. Suppose you are an accountant, there are so many people who want their accounts to be done. Do it for them. I mean, even if you have to do it for free, at least your mind is occupied. You won't fall sick. That phobia you won't have. Oh, pandemic, it's going to kill me. So that fear of death, once you overcome that, believe me, I mean, you are a winner.
yeah. Okay, I want you to describe a meal you have cooked and that was the worst meal you have ever cooked.
Well, it's a hilarious question, but whatever I did, I tried to bake a cake, and and I burnt it. And it was, but then, everybody knew it was smoking. It was on the table and everybody ate it, like a dried bread with tea, and we enjoyed the laughter. But we had nothing else to do.
Did the family members have the courage to tell you that it tastes fantastic?
Well, everybody knew the secret, but they all enjoyed it, for the effort done.
Yeah, yeah, great. That's a great saying. Okay, so the next question is how to increase academic updates from home.
Well, I have done it, Noor. I did learn sitting at home, AutoCAD thing. See, there are so many. You have to choose what your interest is. Go Google, and you'll find 1,001 free, absolute free courses. Do it, and there is no dearth. Excuse me. There is no dearth of such courses, but you have to take the initiative. Nobody else. Noor can't come and tell me, Sunil, why don't you go and do that? Or I can't come and tell Noor, why are you sitting idle here? Please go and do this. So you are master again of your own destiny. You have to take that initiative. And there is no dearth, even of job. Maybe they may not be as paying as you were about 5 months ago. But then you have multiple options sitting at home. Why don't you do it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the 3 A's of a positive mindset and how to develop yourself. What do you mean by the 3 A's?
You see, the attitude first and foremost. Now, you tell me, suppose I find some work down there to service them. My neighbor tells me, service my car. You were an engineer, why don't you were servicing your car? Now, first thing would be, why should I service your car? Now, the second is, yes, I can do it. I'm going to charge you this much. See, as it is, he's going to go to the garage and pay. So he might as well sitting at home from a known person who won't cheat him. So that is the attitude and the confidence I can do it. That is number one, which makes all the difference. Your positive attitude. I will do it. Never say no,
Yeah. And what is number?
Then
Yeah, go ahead, Sunil.
then comes your aptitude. How much you know. I mean, do as much as you know and try to learn and enhance that. Don't fuck around. Sorry for using that. Don't screw around with somebody else's. Take something for granted. I don't know. Let me do hit and trial on somebody else's money. So that aptitude, you must be updated with what you're doing and how you're doing it. And the approach comes last. I have to go to, say, the market. What is the best route to adapt? Pick and choose 10 different ways to do it and select the best. You have to have a plan B also, suppose A fails. So you have a backup system. So that's how the 3 A's. I made that my mantra, and they don't fail me.
When did this mantra give you the best result? Could you give an example?
Well, right from the inception when I joined as a graduate engineer trainee way back in 1984, I had a boss who was a very hard task master. He made me do it. He literally made me do all the dirty work, initially. I said, I am an engineer and you making me a sweeper and make me do all the cleaning dirty job. So one fine day, he said, well, you are in the training cell and don't hesitate in learning. I'm giving you all the tough work, all the worst kind of jobs. Once you do it, you will never again look back. You won't feel ashamed of doing anything. So that's how, I kept on honing my inhibitions, reservations, and till now I do it, So, and one of the best moment was in my previous company, they had launched a new vehicle. And being a marketing man, in one go, I sold off 1,500 vehicles, And within a week's time, it started developing an engine problem. So the service department didn't have an answer. The R&D didn't have an answer. Ultimately, the decision came from the chairman to replace the engines. So we were sitting, waiting for the call to, okay, 500 engines will come first and then replace them. So what I did, I just spoke to my boss. I said, can I try something out on this? He said, what are you going to do it? The engines are coming, just you have to replace them, nothing else. I said, no, I want to just find a way of doing something to remove the problem, the troubleshoot the engine. He said, what do you want? I said, I want a vehicle to be parked at my house. He said, take it. So I dismantled the entire engine in my house and I found an answer. Believe me, it was 950 rupees, meaning divided by 75 as of now. Say not even 100, not even $10. I reworked on that engine, say about $20, and finally found a solution. I told my boss, I drove it for about 500 kilometers, so the problem was not there. I came and told my boss, he says, drive this vehicle and see if there is engine smoke. He drove it. He said, no. We put in the exhaust gas analyzer. He says, this is perfect. He called his vice president sitting in Mumbai. He says, my engineer has found a solution. He took the first flight and wanted to see that. He says, you've done it? Yes, sir. I said, this is the report. These are the changes that I've done. and it just costed me $25. And you are going to spend about $500 to replace an engine. You know, overall 1,600 engines in about 4 months' time. The chairman of the company, he called me, and with all the HODs sitting there, believe me, this is one of the most memorable moments when a nincompoop of a guy named Sunil Sharma, sitting in front of all the HODs, he comes and taps me. He says, "You saved the company," and these a bunch of idiots couldn't do nothing. I was feeling embarrassed too, but at the same time, I was feeling so happy that I'm a chairman of one of the conglomerates of the country in the automotive sector, appreciating me. That's
Yeah,
so. I mean, I never look back, Noor.
yeah, that's fantastic. Let's go to the people's mentality. How can people remove the fear of the pandemic and dying and this whole problem?
Well, if the pandemic wants to catch you, or the pandemic falls in love with you, Noor, it's going to fall in love with you and take you. And dying every day. No, if I go out, I'll catch pandemic, and there will be no treatment, and I'll die. If you rather die than stay alive, I have a different kind of an approach that don't live out of fear. Do your normal routine. Yes, take all your preventive cares. You have to wear a glove, wear it. You want to wear a mask, wear it. You want to wear a headgear, wear it. But don't say I'm afraid still. Then even God can't save you. So don't live in fear. Do your normal routine, and the storm will pass. It's almost at the peak is over. It has to decline. So don't make yourself an nincompoop, a worthless kind of a person. Keep yourself active.
Yeah, that's important. Okay, let's get more active. How can people create or find new avenues of work during the pandemic?
One, think that you are on a vacation, first and foremost. I
Yeah,
mean, don't consider yourself you're jobless. I mean, we used to look for an opportunity to call for a vacation. 1 month I want to take. Maybe God has given the entire world a vacation. So you have to earn also, and keep your mind, healthy. That sitting at home, you can do so many, update your knowledge, build your bonds with your family, and a healthy mind can always generate a healthy environment for you. So avenues are n number. You have to do the deed of searching, that you and I can't do for somebody. I can tell you a path, but you have to walk on the path for anybody. So do your Google, sit on the laptop, find what is of interest to you, do it, learn it. Then you have so many things. Build your uh, relationship with your family, build your environment, make friends with your neighbors. I really never said hi to my neighbors. Today we've become one of the best friends. So again, you have to keep this occupied. The more you keep it tired, you will never be a sick man.
yeah. How can people break barriers in new fields?
Well, you have to break the monotony. Now, everybody says pandemic, pandemic. There is lockdown. You can't go out. But there is so much to do in your house. You see, reinvent yourself. I mean, think that this is a new world that you have to make, new kind of an environment you need to generate. The family is wanting to understand you. The new environment is wanting to understand you. So then, why don't you give yourself? I mean, deliver the best to everyone. This opportunity is not going to come again. Believe me. So make the best use of it, and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Don't live in that fear, you know. Don't. I tell everyone. I mean, every day about 5, 6 people I have a chat, whether it is on the phone or whether it is online. Just tell them, you just think you want to die, go and die. But then don't say pandemic, and don't work. See, you have to work, whether pandemic or no pandemic. You need food, so you need to earn it. There are no free lunches, you know. So
Yeah.
at times I have to be harsh with people, but then there is no shortcut, you know, to teachings also, you know.
True. Yeah, that's so true. What else would you like to say, Sunil?
Well, I would always like to tell people this: the nature has given you an opportunity to again redo everything and start afresh. So do it in the right spirit. I mean, think you're ignorant and begin. Like Socrates says, I'm the wisest man on earth. One thing I know nothing. So begin with that and start learning, implementing, and doing afresh in a new paradigm itself. I mean, that's what I would like to tell everyone. Begin afresh, reinvent yourself, and redo it, everything.
Yeah. It has been more than great, more than interesting speaking to you, Sunil, today. We really appreciate your time. We really appreciate your help and these great ideas at this difficult time, and how courageous your ideas are, especially at this time.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. And sincerely, I would love to interact with many people. Tell them, don't live in fear. Come out of that fear and live a healthy life. You know,
Yeah, and
this opportunity won't never ever get. You know.
certainly, certainly. And let's know that Sunil Sharma is available on LinkedIn. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to get in touch with him, he is available and he's a very helpful.
Definitely, I'll be over more than happy to help anyone as much as I can.
Certainly. Thank you, Sunil, so much for your time and help indeed.
Thank you so much. God bless.